This is April 8, 2019. Shocks to the system. Relief and recovery rush forward then back in surging tides of slate. Washing and churning are chain-linked impulses, where pangs from concrete and reinforced steel resound. Patterns from ancient days return. Global food supply is suffering from an increasing number of food shocks. This is according to a recent study by the National Center for Ecological Analysis and Synthesis at UCSB, the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies, and the Center for Marine Socioecology at the University of Tasmania. The study identifies 226 food production shocks across 134 countries over a 53-year period, revealing that global food shocks are increasing over time. Lead author Richard Cottrell said that extreme weather was a major cause of shocks to crops and livestock. Globalized trade means food insecurity is a planet-wide problem. In Afghanistan, a period of drought last year displaced some 243,000 people in the western provinces of Herat, Badghis and Ghor, according to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. Many farmers did not plant, and farmers who stayed in their homes were forced to sell livestock and tools to survive. Now, with an ample supply of moisture from rain and snow during the winter, the remaining farmers are hoping for an okay harvest. Floods in March, however, have complicated the recovery. Heavy rains killed at least 63 people and destroyed or damaged more than 12,000 homes, affecting over 119,000 people, said OCHA. The winter wheat harvested in June and July will need to help feed displaced people and some 10.6 million people, said Toby Lancer, the UN's Deputy Special Representative for Afghanistan. The country produced 3.6 million tons of wheat last year, down 25% from the 5-year average, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization. This year's outlook remains uncertain. Shortfalls in supply and demand this year will be balanced with wheat imports from Pakistan and Kazakhstan. Similarly, India is facing food insecurity induced by climate and weather volatility. The northeast monsoon, also known as post-monsoon rainfall, October to December, that provides 10 to 20% of India's rainfall, was deficient by 44% in 2018, from the long-term normal of 127.2 millimeters, as per data from the India Meteorological Department. Vimal Mishra, associate professor at the Indian Institute of Technology, says that India has experienced widespread drought every year since 2015, and this year is also deficient. In 34 reservoirs, water availability is 25% of total capacity. The direct effects are hard-hitting, since 50% of India's population depends on agriculture and more than 50% of the cultivable land are being rain-fed. Disappearing agriculture and dwindling water resources are forcing a rapid rise of internal migrants from Bengaluru's lakes into cities and urban areas. But water shortages threaten India's cities. According to the Composite Water Management Index, 21 cities, including Bengaluru, New Delhi, Chennai, and Hyderabad, will run out of groundwater by 2020. And because 17% of India depends on hydropower, decreasing water availability stresses the country's electrical provisions. Deep in the U.S. mainland, the recent bomb cyclone broke levees, decimated crops, and flooded thousands of homes. U.S. farmers have already lost millions upon millions of bushels of wheat, corn, and soybeans, writes Tyler Durden from Zero Hedge. In one county alone, as of March 20, Fremont County farmers estimate about 390,000 bushels of stored soybeans and about 1.9 million bushels of stored corn are underwater. Losses surpass $1.3 billion in Nebraska, state officials said, according to the Associated Press. That includes approximately $449 million in damage to roads, levees, and other infrastructure, $440 million in crop losses, and $400 million in cattle losses. Over the next 2 months, the situation is not likely to improve. The Weather Channel warns that precipitation in much of the lower 48 will continue to be above average through May. So far, the Mississippi River Basin has gotten 3 times as much rainfall as in a normal year. And with more than 20 inches of snow on the ground in the eastern Dakotas and Minnesota, rapid snowmelt will worsen flooding. One Iowa farmer advises, if you've got any money left, spend it on insurance. Paths toward hardy reserves must soon take shape. Observe these withdrawing heaps of green and gather the forward falling harvests. For intervals between distress shorten.